Good morning, folks. It's a nice tropical 33 degrees out here in Windiana. As you can see, we got some bacon factories to tear down. I'm just cleaning out radiators. Here's our setup. We got a total water going into a pump hooked up to a battery, then going back here to the pressure washer and to the nozzle. Some high quality redneck ingenuity for you. Now I have to grease it. Yep, she's all greased.
We need to pull that off, Aiden. That's plastic.
Today we are tearing down some hog barns. As you can see, we gotta take the plastic siding off because it'll burn black. And that's not good because then you get a whole bunch of complaints coming from the locals here. You may be wondering why you're watching a hog barn demolition video on a tiling channel, and that is, if you look in the channel description, you'll see that we do a lot of farm drainage, but it also says any other crazy ass stuff we do. Well, this would be one of those crazy ass things we do. And the fun part about this is you don't have to worry about any of this because it's all getting tore down, so we can slam doors as hard as we want and not care about it. As you can see, I've almost tore down this before we started realizing that it was plastic siding, and now we got to tear it all off. Looks like I have a lot of work to do, so catch you in a little bit. Now it's time to separate the wood from the concrete. The biggest thing in demolition is to make it look like you know what you're doing, even if you don't. Whether that's from a lack of instruction or a lack of brain cells, you just need to look like you know what you're doing. Make a nice clean mess, if that makes any sense. No. See, like that concrete just fell on all that wood, and that's not gonna be very pretty. But gotta work with what we got. Ooh. Coming off in just one big section. And then you can just pick up those walls and set them off to the side to be crushed later. See, we got our burnables over here on this side now, and our concrete on this side. Now we're just gonna groom this up and make it look pretty, make sure there's no more concrete down there, the footers or whatnot. And then that will make it easier so that the haul truck can come through here whenever we decide to tear these barns down. Doesn't appear to be any footers left, so that's good. Footers on these are about 2 feet deep and about 10 to 12 inches thick, so it makes it a little harder to pull out. It makes the 315 just a little bit doggish. See if we can get a bite on it on the other side. There we go. Yep, that was way faster. Real important that you separate your topsoil from your subsoil. Your farmers will thank you later. I'm setting it as far away as I can. That way it's all in one spot in the whole pile. Whenever you're backfilling the hole, it'll make it easy. It's very important when you're digging a big hole like this. As you can see, we had our excavator all the way boomed out. We're digging this hole as deep as we can. Our excavator boom is 37.5 feet long. If you walk down there, you could probably smell Chinatown. We got bubbles feeding the fire now. Money Mike is focused on tearing the other hog barn down, and I'm here just doing this. Trying not to bust any slats, because that's gonna make it a real pain if we gotta dig them back out of the pit. But we're knocking down walls and pushing them past center so we can grab them on the other side. Kind of a slow process. Also have to separate the feeders and the fans. As you can see, we got the slats cleaned off to the best of our abilities, and now we got everybody trying to clean up concrete, making a big pile towards the front of the barn. It's kind of hard to grab a bunch of little pieces with the grapple. Just gotta make do with what you got, I guess. But bubbles in the excavator and the bucket forks taking off slats. Works pretty good. And then Money Mike is over there taking off slats as well with two welded pieces of bar stock on a handle tied to a couple of cables going through a clevis in the excavator bucket. We got two skid steers running. Both taking slats, making a massive pile down here so that we can come and crush them later. Bubbles got all the slats tore off this hog barn, so now we're taking off the pillars that held the slats up, as well as the pillars that hold the slats up. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Bubbles is over there taking off the other hog barn slats, and then I'll go over there and do what I'm doing here, taking out the pillars so we can dip the solids out of the pits. Pretty meticulous process, so I'll catch you in a little bit. You may be wondering what all those bubbles are down there. I think that's what all those science geeks call radiation. Nuclear! We got all our slats and our lintels stacked up. And we got an excavator crushing slats. Our new toy showed up though. Look at this beast. It's a big honka. Here's our rebar pile from crushing slats. Yep, we got a mile of slats, it seems like. Here's the claw crusher he's using. So it's been a couple days since I last videoed, but here's the finished product. Got it all smoothed out, graded off. Our stone pile, Mount Everest, is over there. And then we're just backfilling our burn pits. And this project is done. So, toodles.
Oh, I ain't no people. That's a 6-7 Combo. I can't hear nothing over that Cummins.